guys, and welcome back to my channel. Okay, so now that I have found out that I'm pregnant, I am going to do a full face of pregnancy safe drugstore makeup. And pretty much after this, I'm going to be cleaning my brushes, but I'll be using the same brushes because I'm not done with my things. I got 3 things done, and these brushes are getting pretty dirty. So it's just better I clean them. Know what I mean? Alright, so let's get started. And first things first, we're going to go in with the e.l.f. brow lift, but we are also going to be shading in, or coloring in our brows, but we're going to do it after the brow lift and see how that looks. So, first we're going to take the brow lift applicator, and even if I don't use them today, I'm still going to clean them, just to have fresh, clean brushes. And I got my little mirror here. Like I said, we're gonna kind of first glue down my brow hairs really quickly, glue them down, and then we will color them in. Well, the nice thing is I don't have as many brushes to clean. I'll work on that tomorrow to be able to have clean brushes by, I don't know, either Wednesday or Thursday. So I do also have a doctor's appointment tomorrow. I'm gonna need to make my doctor's appointment for my pregnancy. I keep forgetting. No, they're gonna go, oh, it was a false positive. No, it wasn't. They've been trying to say that for 2 months. I'm still getting positive pregnancy tests. So I think you're either fudging the test, which is illegal, or you're not doing it right. Which means you're just plain dumb. So really quickly, I am going to clean my brows. Using brow jelly, just use it. Kind of it makes me feel like gluing my brows down, and I just see glue on my floor. Really quickly, clean up the glue around my brows. I'm almost out of this brow gel. Like, my brows are about ready to not be done anymore. So now we're going to go into the e.l.f. The e.l.f. Perfect 10 palette in the shade Nude Mood. We're going to go into the third shade in the palette, which kind of broke the other day. So I tried fixing it. But we're gonna see how well this works. I don't see this working too well because that is super duper sticky. And I don't like that. I don't like it's super sticky. Oh my gosh. Oh wait, not too bad. I mean, it works a little bit. It doesn't work too bad. It's not too bad. But I just kind of wish I could use the spoolie part. But I guess this just helps not use the spoolie part. But kind of want to use the spoolie part because I love using spoolie part. I guess I could. But that definitely works better than not the other way, so definitely like it this way. But there's gonna be times I'm gonna want to use that spoolie, so I'll just go back and forth. And then on my mood, depends if I'll use the gel first and then the powder, or the powder first then the gel. Again, I'll just depend on my mood. I tried fixing the shadow, but this is just gonna be one more shadow I'm down, which is okay. I mean, it makes the shade more potent. So when I want a less potent brow look, I use the powder first. It's alright. This also saves me from having to clean up a million times. Okay, so my brows are done besides carving them out, which we'll do in a minute. Alright. So now we're going to go into the e.l.f. Power Grip, which the e.l.f. Power Grip, both Power Grip versions are. Of course, if it's in this video, it is. I mean, there's some e.l.f. And L'Oreal and all that. That is pregnancy safe, but I just didn't want to include it. Type thing. So I'm just going all over my face. And I'm just gonna have to really, like I said, I'm going to work on washing my brushes tomorrow when I get up. So, when I get up tomorrow, I'm gonna have to really work on those brushes. to try to like brushes and stuff to try to get them really clean for Wednesday or Thursday. I'm gonna shoot Thursday because even if I get them clean by Wednesday, it gives me a day to plan some more. I mean, I have one more video idea after this, but it's just that I only have one more, and I want to try to get a lot of things used up. So I still have 2 more things that I know of that I really want to get used up. So now I'm gonna use my e.l.f. primer infused, or my e.l.f. primer putty primer applicator. Jeez. I don't know. I think I'm tired. This is shit. No, because tiny and there's been too many cases of oh my god. So just thinking about something. Um my primary care doctor had told me to look at the IUD because they don't want me on the double shot too much longer. I'm like sitting here thinking, no, I was looking it up. There's too many cases of women going infertile, for one. For two, I'm not gonna be on it much longer. Like literally in December. Well, now that I'm pregnant now, we a lot. It's literally I'm not getting it next month. But I literally cannot. But literally, if I was not pregnant right now, it'd be December, and then after December, I was done. But it's alright. Oh my god. Alright. So we got that. One more primer, and then we can get into foundation, which is the Neutrogena Prep and Correct Red Correcting Primer. Literally looks like it's just on my nose today. Just a little bit on my nose. Just good. Let's just go ahead and put it on my cheeks because it could be that putty primer for covering up my redness. Right. Alright, instead of using this stipple brush that really needs clean, we're going to use the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush with this, and we're going to go in throwing everything. The first, actually, before we go into it, we're going to go into the e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer in the shade Fair Warm for eyeshadow primer. And some powder. Completely forgot about this. Well, almost completely forgot about this. So, one thing I remembered, I'm not going to be carving out my brows today. I'm just going to do simple things, or try to do simple things. So this still has a lot more left, but a few uses left. I'm just gonna go ahead and use it up. And then I'm going to go into my e.l.f. Camo Concealer Sponge and a little bit of rose water. You know the drill. Rose water for life. I'm working at shearing everything out. Really well. So now we're going to use a little bit of powder, which we're going to use this Ragged Powder Puff. And we're going in the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder to set my eye. Okay. And then this will be the powder puff that we use under the eyes too. And then really quickly take my Real Techniques setting brush to lightly dust everything off. So then it's all connected. Now we're going into the Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator in the shade Medium Tan. Which I don't expect to last much longer either. Oops. Oopsie. Good thing that I'm getting a shower soon. Like, literally, this is the last use. Like, this video is the last use for it. So, let me put on my nose. And I just love how this brush really blends everything into the skin. So there's gonna be some brushes that I will be cleaning and pretty much putting back into the bag when I clean them tomorrow. Because of they're not needed anymore. Like, literally, I can barely get any out. So I might as well just build today. Might as well just build today. Build up where I need more coverage. Which I love the stipple brush for this specific foundation too. But this one, the Expert Face Brush, and the Expert Foundation Brush, which is in my bag, work a little bit better. They're both good, but that foundation, or this one, works a lot better. And I think it's because it's not just for foundation. It's for everything. So, pretty much where I need coverage, like on my neck and stuff, once I'm done with the spongy, which again, we're gonna use some rose water. Rose water does the trick for everything. I think on my head too. On my chin and down my neck. That's where I'm gonna need more coverage. So, my face looks orange as shite, but it's fine. So, we're going to do my under eye concealer really quick, which is the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer in the shade Fair Warm. And then build up the coverage where I need it. And then we'll be done, and that will be done and out of the way. And then we're gonna also, no we're not, we're gonna let that marinate, and then we're gonna build up, and then we'll do face concealer. Which this is not even on the list, so for this to be done, I'm glad. So it wasn't even on the list, so this is an extra one. So now we're going into the Camo Concealer sponge and blending that out using tapping motions and Flawless Concealer. But anyways, like I said, that means that's an extra one. Which means I don't have to deal with it when the time comes. Like, literally, I'm having to squeeze it hard to be able to get anything out. So, like I said, let's just get my cheeks too. My nose. So, like I said, it's pretty much done after this. So. Which I'm so glad about. So like I said, so it just means an extra product. I guess there's a little more than I thought. Oh well. A lot. I'm sorry. This is a lot. It's fine because it's gonna be sheared out anyways. It's a lot. Good thing that no wait. Put some on the ears. Put some off the brush too. There. Good thing that I have rose water. So, we're gonna need some more rose water to clean up this mess. It's fine, because that's another product gone. It's another product used up. Whatever you want to call it. So that's another product for Amazon, which just remembered I didn't put the L'Oreal on there when I should have. I'm just pretty much wiping it. It's fine because it's like picking on something in my hairline. Alright. So, that was a lot. And I kind of need to let that dry. I'm also going to clean off my brush the best I can. I'm literally painting myself right now. It's like because of how much I just used. But it's fine. So I'm gonna go put this in the box and let this dry, and I'll be right back. So this is as dry as it's gonna get today for now. So now we're gonna do face concealer, and we're gonna kind of go everywhere. When I say everywhere, I mean everywhere. Just kind of lighten up my face. So, going to go on the sides of the cheeks. And this is the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in Fair, by the way. Just to really lighten everything up. So now, I'm going to go into my Camo Concealer Sponge. I'm going to put more rose water. I'm going to take more rose water. And we're kind of lightening it up to make the contour and the bronzer that I'm using more pronounced. The highlighter doesn't really need to be pronounced, but it just helps because everything's more pronounced, so then it's like everything's more clear, if that makes sense. So now, did that. I'm gonna go on the chin, right here, where I would put my bronzer. To make that more pronounced. Again, taking my Camo Concealer Sponge. And then we're going to go on to the sides of my nose. Right here. Right here. Yes, I can. To make that more pronounced, and I also can't go right there. To make that more pronounced. I'm telling you. And this is also another excuse to take a little bit more foundation off. That was a little too much. Just a little too much. Alright. So now I'm going to take more concealer. I'm going to go right here with it, where I put the contour. Like I said, this is another excuse to just sheer out more of the foundation. Like I said, I just kind of wiped it off. I didn't really share it out the best. Or we'll also be able to share it out with the blush and stuff too. Alright. And then we're going to go into the center of the face like we normally do. Right here. Right here. Like I said, we're really trying to make everything pronounced. And my skin just looks a little brighter. Oops. Oh my god. I'm making a mess with my makeup. But like I said, down the bridge of my nose. But like I said, good thing I'm getting a bath. And in the center of my forehead. Okay. Hi. Alright. So now we're going to go into contour. Which I have my e.l.f. Halo Glow contour wand and my e.l.f. contouring brush. There we go. And I'm just going to go ahead and put it on the rest of my face, besides my nose, because I'll do that in a minute. And with me getting that extra product today, because like I said, it wasn't on the list, that just makes this a lot easier, which means that it just makes how do I explain this? Which means that it just makes it easier to use up a lot of makeup products next month, and it's less by next month, and it's just less that goes over. You know what I mean? I hope that makes sense. Alright. So contouring is done. Kind of doing something really quick. Alright. Anyways, so now I'm going to go into my pink sponge that I use for blush and highlighter. Again, using more rose water. And now we're going to go into the e.l.f. Halo Glow Blush Wand in Rose You Slay. A really pretty blush. And trust me, this is a really pretty blush. And now we're going to use two different liquid highlighters once I get I'm pretty much using the sponge because I have a bunch of these in a bag. And two, this one's all old and ragged and like really dirty to the point where I need to throw it away, and I can just get another one. And like people say this is a shimmery blush, like it is, it's a metallic blush, but it doesn't transfer onto my skin. Like you can barely see it on my skin. Now we're going into the e.l.f. Halo Glow Highlight Beauty Wand in the shade Liquid Gold. And again, like, this is not shimmery, it just highlights the high points of my face, like a highlighter should. Alright, and then I'm going to go into the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter in the shade One Fair. And we're going to go into the center part of my face. And before I say, I gotta use bronzer. So the reason I was doing the highlighter before the bronzer is because then, really quickly, let me do my bronzer, which is the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer, and the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer brush. And this is in the shade Tan Lines. But the reason I did that was so I know where to put my bronzer on my chin. And I'm not, I mean, I guess I'm kind of overlapping, but not really. It just helps me. If that makes sense. Like, it just helps me. And I'm going to use my Real Techniques sponge. it just chisels out that chin. Alright. Now let's go back into liquid highlighter. Almost done with. Alright. Like I said, I'm gonna share everything out with the foundation that I had. Gonna explode everywhere. I'm sharing everything out. So now I'm gonna take this angled brush and I'm gonna take what's left on the applicator and I'm gonna do one size one brow with that, which is why I wasn't carving on my brows today, but it looks really pretty with the brows carved out too. I just wanted to do it without my brows being carved out today. And then I just dipped it back in. I take what's on that brush, or that applicator, and do the other eye with it. Right up to that brow. The underside of my brow. And I'm taking the flat side right here, kind of like blending that out. Okay. Alright. So now, first, before we set the face, I'm going to take my raggedy powder puff that just needs thrown away. Now today, I'm going to do a light set, and I'm also going to bake like normal, so I'm taking a big powder brush, sorry, and I want to set my chin, or not my chin, my neck. And the nice thing about the powder that I will be using after all three of these powders that I have in here are gone is it has one for setting. I mean, it has three for setting, but one's to light set, one's brightening for like the under eyes, one's baking for what I do, since I like baking now. Then I'm going to take more, and I'm going to set my ears. So, set one ear. Since I don't bake on my ears or my neck, I'm really making sure that it's all set. And then still like a light set, but that. Okay. Then I'm gonna take what's left in my cap and just quickly put it all over my face. Okay. So now that's for the brush. Now I'm gonna put more into the cap. I'm gonna take my Real Techniques powder puff, and I'm gonna start to bake with this powder puff. So I'm going sides of my nose. I'm going down the bridge of my nose. That. I'm going upper lip and chin. I'm pretty much going everywhere because I have oily skin, and I've learned that, or not oily skin, I have combination skin. And I've learned that sometimes with combination skin, especially my skin, I sometimes it doesn't last on my skin like it should. So it's like that thing of what's gonna make it really last on my skin. And I looked it up one day and found out baking. So it's 9:44. So at 9:45, I can brush this off, and then we can get to eyes and all that. So like even my new brushes are going to get clean just because you never know what was on them before I got them. Like all my brushes in there are gonna get clean. And the reason I don't do it on my ears and on my neck is because it pretty much stays there. It's just my face. where I really get oily, that it breaks down. And I can feel it baking. I really can feel it baking, and it's weird. So I don't, because I will probably end up forgetting, but it's fine. So I'm gonna take this fluffy first, first. I'm gonna take my angled crease brush. I'm gonna go into the second shade in the palette, and I'm going to kind of like do a double set on my eyes as well. So then it's like, and this also helps. So might as well. And I'll also be using this on and off throughout my makeup look. So alright, now I'm gonna take this fluffy crease brush and I'm going to go into the CoverGirl Eye Enhancers eyeshadow in the shade Snow Blossom. I'm going into the crease to kind of define that crease a little bit. That's the only part I really want to define. Like I said, I'm also going to use this throughout my eye look too, this brush. So it just defines that crease a little bit. Okay. So it's been 5 minutes now, so I'm going to take my Real Techniques setting brush and I'm going to start to dust this off. What? Okay. Anyways, just brushing everything off, which it baked without an actual timer to show me. It baked really well, so I love this. But I love all of this, so. Okay. So now we're going to go into this palette and we're going to go into this fluffy crease brush. Going to go into the first shade. Just to kind of emphasize what we kind of did with that shadow, CoverGirl shadow. Which I know pretty much I think all the eyeshadow palettes I have right here are gonna have to go over. That's a given. And then we're going to go into my e.l.f. blending eye brush. We're kind of just going to blend everything together. What I just did. So blend the first shade in the e.l.f. palette and the CoverGirl Eye Enhancer shadow together to make that transition. And we're going to do the same thing each time. And we might need the CoverGirl shadow as we go to, just to really make it pop and make that transition. Which is the reason why I kept this crease brush out in case we do. So, which by the looks of it we might not yet, but once we add more shadow into that crease and kind of really define that crease, we might need to, and just blend it together. And then we can get to the lid. Okay. So now, I know, we're going back into that crease brush. Going to go into the fourth shade in the palette, just a little bit darker than that first shade, a little bit darker of a pink. And I'll keep an eye on that eye enhancer shadow as we go along after we blend everything, just to make sure it's still there. And if it's not really showing through, then I'll go back in with more and blend it with the blending brush. So I definitely have ways to get around stuff and kind of like really bring this look together today. Which I think is what I'm gonna do from now on, is use the eye enhancer shadow. Use that up because I don't use glitter a lot. Then going back in with the blending eye brush. Really blend. I can still see a little bit, not much. I can still get away with it this one time, but I'm gonna have to put more next time. And then I think I'm gonna also use this for the lid. I'm not for sure yet. Okay. I'm going back into that crease brush. And we're gonna go into the third shadow, which is the one we used in our brows. And then, like I said, I'm gonna have to put more CoverGirl eyeshadow on top to make a shimmery eye look. It's pretty much what I'm doing because that's all matte. I don't want a shimmery eye look today. So it's like, can't really. I want it a little more shimmer than what I normally go for. Because I'm trying to do something because I'm trying to get looks together for, like, eye looks together for a date night look. Because I kind of want him to take me on a date soon. Just to celebrate my pregnancy. Yeah. I mean, I've seen a few specs here and there. But it would be easier just to add a little bit more. So, going back into that crease brush and adding that on top, really bring out that shimmer. Perfect, it looks so beautiful. And I will be blending it too, just so it's not too shimmery, because yes, I want a little more sparkle than I normally go for, so like a lot of sparkle, but I also don't want a lot of sparkle. Actually, this doesn't look too bad. It looks really pretty. But again, just to be safe, I'm going and blending a little bit. Oh wow. It's so pretty. I think this eye look is the winner. So then I'm gonna take that crease brush again and I'm gonna put some on my lid. Just to add a little sparkle there and do the same thing there. Look at all this sparkle. Alright. So now I thought I was going to use this more, this angled crease brush, but I didn't. Now we're going to go into this accent shadow brush and going to go into the seventh shade in the palette. This shade right here. And put that towards the inner corner of my eyes and then blend that out. Done, kind of half and half. No, let's just go with the so I have an idea. Then again, blending to make sure that shadow, CoverGirl, shadow comes through. And then we will top it with some of that CoverGirl shadow on top and blend. So it's not going to be just straight up a little bit of shimmer on the lid. It's going to be a lot of shimmer like in the crease, but it's still gonna be blended out. So then going back into the CoverGirl Eye Enhancer Shadow and the crease brush I used to blend it out. And put it on. On the left eye. And then again blend it out, and we're done with the eyeshadow look. Just need to add the eyeliner and mascara, and alright. First, need to get the excess off. Okay. And I have my liner smudge brush in case this liner gets messy. I'm just going to leave it there. I'm not going to even try to thicken it anywhere because that's where I make my mistakes. Alright, I'm going to leave it like that because it looks good. Alright. So this is the last time I'm going to use this mascara. It's almost done. You can... It's a drier formula, so I kind of expected it. It may not be done. Let me take inspection. Mascaras on me always skip, but I always having to layer it up, which means it's you can see. I'm really having to work with it. To get that end. I'm gonna do a test. Alright. So really quickly, I'm gonna do a test with my other two mascaras and see if there's a difference. Yeah, because these don't skip. That's skipping. So which means it's done. Alright. So, another thing done. Okay. So now, I'm going to finish. Actually, no, I think this is good. I think this is good. I don't need setting spray because I'm not wearing this much longer. Alright, so this is the completed and final look. I hope you liked this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you next time. Bye!